Have you ever woken in the cold hours before dawn, your heart pounding, the face of someone haunting your mind, and felt a terror you couldn't explain? I have, many times throughout my life, and I am here to tell you something that may disturb you deeply. That person who appeared in your dream last night was not there by accident. They were sent by the darkest and most honest part of your own psyche, a part of you that knows truths your conscious mind refuses to face. For over 6 decades, I have explored the deepest caverns of the human unconscious. What I discovered there changed everything I thought I knew about reality, about the mind, about the very nature of existence itself. The truth is this: when someone appears in your dreams, you are not simply remembering them. You are confronting a living aspect of your own soul that wears their face. And if you continue to ignore what these dream figures are desperately trying to tell you, the consequences will be more devastating than you can possibly imagine. Let me be absolutely clear about something that modern psychology has tried to sanitize and make palatable. Your unconscious mind is not your friend. It is not some gentle guide whispering sweet wisdom. It is a vast, dark ocean filled with everything you have ever repressed, denied, and fled from. And it is far more powerful than your conscious ego. When you close your eyes at night, you are not entering a peaceful rest. You are descending into a realm where your ego has no control, where the unconscious reigns supreme, where every person who appears is a messenger carrying truths you have spent your entire life avoiding. I learned this the hard way. In 1913, I experienced what others called a mental breakdown. I called it my confrontation with the unconscious. Night after night, terrifying figures appeared in my dreams and visions: wise old men, demonic shadows, ancient gods, people from my past transformed into archetypal beings. I could have dismissed them as mere hallucinations. I could have run from them. But instead, I did something that saved my life and revolutionized psychology forever. I listened. I dialogued with them. I asked them what they wanted from me. And what they revealed was this: every person who appears in your dreams is a fragment of your own psyche crying out for recognition, for integration, for acknowledgement. When you dream of your mother, you are not dreaming of the woman who gave birth to you. You are dreaming of the mother archetype that lives within your own soul. When you dream of that friend who betrayed you, you are not processing old memories. You are facing your own capacity for betrayal, your own shadow self that you refuse to see in the mirror. Think with me for a moment. How many people have crossed your path in this lifetime? Thousands upon thousands. But in your dreams, who appears? Always the same few faces. That ex-lover you haven't seen in 20 years, that parent who died decades ago, that colleague who triggers something inexplicable in you. Why them? Why now? Because your unconscious is using their image as a mask, a persona through which it can finally speak to you without your ego immediately slamming the door shut. I discovered something that frightened me to my core. The people in our dreams fall into distinct categories, each carrying a specific warning from the unconscious. And the most dangerous category of all is the one most people never recognize until it's too late. The first category is what I call the shadow figures. These are the people in your dreams who disturb you, who embody qualities you despise: the angry father, the manipulative friend, the cruel ex-partner. When these figures appear, your unconscious is showing you the parts of yourself you have disowned and projected onto others. You see, we all have a shadow. It is the repository of everything our ego finds unacceptable: violence, selfishness, lust, cruelty, weakness. We cannot destroy the shadow. We can only integrate it or be destroyed by it. I spent years studying patients who refused to acknowledge their shadow, and I watched in horror as their unconscious found other ways to express it. Affairs that destroyed marriages, sudden explosions of rage, inexplicable self-sabotage, illnesses with no physical cause. The shadow will be acknowledged one way or another. If you will not meet it consciously in your dreams, it will erupt unconsciously in your waking life. The second category is the Anima and Animus figures. For men, the Anima appears as a woman in dreams. For women, the Animus appears as a man. These are not real people. They are the contrasexual aspects of your own psyche. When a man dreams repeatedly of a specific woman, especially one who seems otherworldly, mysterious, or unattainable, he is not pining for a lost love. He is encountering his own feminine soul, his capacity for emotion, intuition, and relationship. When a woman dreams of a powerful, often critical or authoritative man, she is facing her own masculine aspect, her capacity for action, logic, and assertion. I have seen countless individuals fall into the trap of projecting their anima or animus onto real people in waking life. They fall desperately in love with someone who embodies these qualities, believing they have found their soulmate, but what they have actually found is a mirror. And when the projection inevitably collapses, when the real person fails to live up to the archetypal image, the devastation is absolute. The divorce courts and psychiatric clinics are filled with people who confuse their inner anima or animus with an external person. The third category, and this is where my warning becomes most urgent, is what I call the messengers of the self. These are the rarest and most important dream figures. They appear when your life has reached a critical juncture, when you are on the verge of a transformation or a catastrophe. They often take the form of wise old men, ancient women, spiritual teachers, or even deceased loved ones who appear with unusual clarity and purpose. When these figures appear in your dreams, speaking directly to you, giving you specific guidance or warnings, you must listen. I mean this literally. You must write down every word. You must take their message seriously, because they are not coming from your personal unconscious. They are emerging from what I discovered to be the collective unconscious, the vast reservoir of archetypal wisdom shared by all humanity across all time. These figures carry knowledge your ego does not possess, foresight into futures you cannot yet see. I had such a dream once. I dreamed of a catastrophic flood, drowning all of Europe, bodies floating in the water, civilization collapsing. I woke terrified, convinced I was going mad. But within months, the war began, and I understood. My unconscious had perceived what my conscious mind refused to see. The collective psyche of Europe was preparing for devastation. Here is what most people fail to understand, and this failure cost them dearly. Your dreams are not random. They are not the brain's way of processing the day's events or consolidating memories. That is the reductionist nonsense of neuroscience trying to explain away what it cannot measure. Your dreams are the voice of your soul attempting to correct the dangerous imbalances in your conscious life. When you repeatedly dream of someone from your past, it is not because you miss them or because they are thinking of you. It is because you have failed to integrate what that relationship was meant to teach you. The lesson remains unlearned, the wound remains unhealed. The aspect of yourself they represented remains in exile, and your unconscious will keep bringing them back, night after night, year after year, until you finally understand what you are meant to see. I must tell you about a patient I treated many years ago. She came to me because she had been dreaming of her deceased mother every single night for 5 years. In the dreams, her mother was always disappointed, always critical, always withholding approval. This woman had spent her entire waking life being the perfect daughter, the perfect wife, the perfect mother herself. She had sacrificed everything to live up to an impossible standard. What she did not understand was that the mother in her dreams was not her actual mother. It was her own internalized mother complex, the archetype that had possessed her and was slowly destroying her authentic self. Through months of analysis, I helped her see that the dream mother's disappointment was actually her own soul's disappointment with the false life she was living. The moment she understood this, the moment she began to live according to her own values rather than an internalized tyrannical standard, the dreams stopped. The mother figure finally smiled and disappeared. This is the power and the terror of dream figures. They will torment you until you face what they represent. They are not cruel, they are desperate. Your unconscious is fighting for your survival, for your wholeness, for your individuation, and it will use any means necessary to get your attention. Now, I must speak of something even darker. There is a type of dream figure that signals imminent psychological danger. I call these the possession figures. They appear when you are on the verge of being overwhelmed by unconscious contents, when your ego is too weak to maintain its boundaries, when you are at risk of psychosis or complete identity dissolution. These figures appear as demonic beings, as versions of people you know who have become monstrous, as pursuers who cannot be escaped, as loved ones who suddenly turn violent. These dreams are not symbolic. They are warnings that your psychological structure is collapsing. If you are having such dreams repeatedly, you must seek help immediately. I have seen what happens when these warnings are ignored. Madness, suicide, complete personality disintegration. But there is hope, and this is why I dedicated my life to this work. When you learn to properly engage with the people in your dreams, when you learn to ask them directly what they want, what they represent, what message they carry, something miraculous happens. The unconscious begins to work with you rather than against you. The terrifying figures become allies. The shadow becomes a source of vitality and strength. The anima or animus becomes a bridge to your own wholeness. I developed a technique I call active imagination. It is simple but requires courage. When someone appears in your dreams, especially repeatedly, you must not simply wake up and go about your day. You must return to the dream while awake in a meditative state and speak directly to the figure. Ask them, who are you? What do you want from me? What part of myself do you represent? And then, and this is crucial, you must listen. You must write down what comes without censoring it, without judging it, without letting your ego interfere. What emerges from this dialogue is often shocking. The shadow figure confesses that it only wants to be acknowledged, that it carries strength and instinct you desperately need. The anima or animus reveals that your one-sided conscious attitude is killing your capacity for wholeness. The deceased parent admits that the unfinished business between you is actually unfinished business within yourself. I have done this work for myself hundreds of times over decades, and I can tell you without exaggeration that it saved my life. The figures who once terrified me became my guides. The people from my past who haunted my dreams became teachers of profound wisdom. My unconscious transformed from an enemy into the deepest source of meaning and purpose I have ever known. But here is my most chilling warning, the one I need you to truly hear. If you continue to ignore the people appearing in your dreams, if you continue to dismiss them as random neural noise, if you continue to live as if your conscious ego is all that exists, you will pay a price that compounds with every passing year. The unconscious does not forget, it does not forgive, it simply accumulates. And one day, without warning, it will erupt into your conscious life with a force that will shatter everything you have built. I have watched this happen to countless individuals. The man who ignores his shadow becomes the monster he always feared. The woman who rejects her animus becomes brittle, opinionated, possessed by negative masculine energy. The person who refuses the call of the self lives a life of quiet desperation, successful on the outside but dead on the inside, wondering why nothing feels meaningful anymore. Your dreams are not entertainment. They are not puzzles to be solved intellectually. They are living encounters with aspects of your own soul that are fighting for their right to exist, to be seen, to be integrated into the totality of who you are. Every person who appears in your dreams is you. Every conversation in a dream is a conversation between different parts of your own psyche. And the resolution of these internal dialogues determines the quality and direction of your entire life. So tonight, when you close your eyes and descend once again into the realm of dreams, I urge you to go with awareness. When someone appears, do not simply react to the dream drama. Step back. Ask yourself, what does this person represent in me? What is my unconscious trying to tell me through this figure? What aspect of myself have I been ignoring or rejecting? And in the morning, before the dream fades, before your rational mind dismisses it, write it down. Every detail, every emotion, every word spoken, then sit with it. Ask the figure directly what it wants. Listen for the answer that comes from deeper than thought, from the place in you that knows truths your ego refuses to admit. This is the path to wholeness, to what I call individuation. It is the journey of integrating all the disparate parts of yourself into a unified conscious whole. It is the hardest work you will ever do, and it is the only work that truly matters. The people in your dreams are waiting for you to finally see them, to finally see yourself. Your shadow wants to come home. Your anima or animus wants to be embraced. Your self wants to guide you toward your destiny. But you must choose to listen. You must choose to engage. You must choose to wake up, not just from the dream, but to the dream's meaning. And I can tell you with absolute certainty that the people who appear in your dreams hold the keys to your liberation or your destruction. The choice of which it will be rests entirely with you. Honor your dreams. Speak with the figures who appear there. Integrate what they represent, and discover that you are far more than you ever imagined yourself to be. The soul is speaking. The only question is whether you will finally listen.